a great monk was on his deathbed. He said to his successor, a young monk, "Remember one thing, never allow a cat in your life." And then he died. A big crowd had gathered to listen to the last statement of this great monk. Everyone was surprised to hear his last words. The successor was also very surprised. He was thinking, why should I not allow a cat in my life? Anyways, they cremated their master with all the rituals. But the successor monk was still thinking about the last statement of his master. There was also an old monk in the monastery who had been with his master for many years and had seen his master's life very closely. However, he could not be chosen as the successor because he was very old and was about to die any time. Seeing the young monk lost in thoughts, the old monk came to him and asked him the reason for his concern. The young monk told him the reason for his concern. The old monk said, "My dear friend, you don't know there is a long story behind it." Then he narrated the whole story to the young monk. The story was when their master renounced his wife, children, and his home, and went into the jungle. He lived near a small village and used to go to the village to beg for food. The villagers were happy that they had a monk of their own, so they made a small bamboo cottage for him. The monk had only 2 clothes to wear, but a problem arose when rats came into the house and started chewing on the clothes. The monk was in great difficulty. He had only 2 clothes, and soon they would be torn to pieces. So, he asked the villagers what to do. The villagers suggested, "Why don't you keep a cat? It will keep the rats away." It seemed like a perfect solution, and the monk and the villagers gave him a cat. The cat kept the rats away from his cottage, but now a new problem arose. He had to feed the cat. So, he had to go to the village several times to beg for some milk for the cat. Again, he asked the villagers for a solution. They said, "This is a small village. The best thing to do is to keep a cow. We can give you a good cow, and in that way, you will become very independent. You can have enough milk for yourself and for your cat too." The monk found the idea right, and a beautiful cow was brought in. Now, the problem was that the cow needed grass and someone to look after it. Every day, the monk had to go to the village to beg for grass. People started saying, "This does not look right, a great monk asking for grass." The monk explained, "But what to do? How will I feed my cow and my cat?" The villagers had a simple solution. "One woman in our village has become a widow. Her husband has died, and she has nobody. If we persuade her, she will be happy to serve a monk like you. Then, you won't have to come every day to ask for grass. We will also clear some ground by the side of your hut, so that she can grow grass and some other crops there. She will take care of you in sickness or in illness." The monk found the idea reasonable, and the villagers persuaded the woman. She started taking care of the monk's cottage, cow, and cat. She also started growing crops near the hut, working tirelessly for him. The monk began helping her in her work, and they started growing crops together in the field. Slowly and steadily, their bond grew, and they fell in love with each other. The woman was very beautiful, and the monk was young. They were living in one cottage, and life seemed complete. After some time, the woman got pregnant, and a child came into their life. One day, the monk realized, "What have I left behind? I renounced my family, but now, this is the whole world again." The realization came so slowly that he was not aware until the child arrived. Now, just because of the cat, the whole world came in. The old monk concluded, "He told you to remember not to keep a cat in your life." Here, the meaning of the cat was that one should never give the mind so much leverage that slowly and unknowingly, it starts dominating you. If we examine our lives, we may find that for the sake of fun, we allow our minds to engage in things that we know are not good. We may think that we will do it only once and not repeat it, but once we give a little leverage to our minds, it starts taking more leverage from us. We may not even realize how we become addicted to some bad habits. Just like the monk who had renounced the world but kept a cat to save his 2 clothes from rats. To feed the cat, he kept a cow. To look after the cow, he kept a woman. And then he fell into a relationship with her, once again becoming a householder. Similarly, in our lives, we may know that taking drugs for intoxication is bad, but some people try it just to feel its effects for the first time. After that, they start doing it repeatedly and slowly become addicted. Another instance is knowing that eating junk food is not good for our health, but we give it a try, and gradually, we start eating it for fun. Therefore, the lesson from the story is to never keep a cat, meaning not to give too much leverage to your mind. Once you allow this cat into your life, it may lead you towards destruction, and you may not even be aware of it. The story imparts several important learnings. Number 1, mindfulness and self-discipline. The central message of the story is to be mindful of the choices we make and to exercise self-discipline. Small indulgences or habits, symbolized by the cat, can quickly escalate and lead to unforeseen consequences. Number 2, unintended consequences. The tale emphasizes how seemingly harmless actions can snowball into more complex situations. Even well-intentioned decisions may result in outcomes that are far from what was initially intended. Number 3, awareness of leverage. The metaphor of the cat as a symbol of giving leverage to the mind highlights the importance of being conscious of the influence our thoughts and actions can have on our lives. Giving too much leeway to impulses or habits can lead to unintended and potentially negative outcomes. Number 4, reflecting on life choices. The story encourages individuals to reflect on their life choices and question whether certain actions or habits align with their original intentions and goals. It urges people to stay true to their principles and not let small concessions compromise their larger objectives. Number 5, understanding addiction and habits. The narrative illustrates how habits, even seemingly innocuous ones, can turn into addictions over time. It serves as a cautionary tale about the slippery slope of engaging in behaviors that may seem harmless initially, but can lead to destructive consequences. Number 6, balance in renunciation. The monk's initial renunciation is contrasted with how, gradually, he re-entered the worldly life due to a series of choices. This underscores the importance of finding a balance in one's commitments and avoiding extremes. Number 7, critical thinking and questioning tradition. The successor monk's questioning of his master's last words shows the importance of critical thinking and not blindly adhering to tradition or advice. It encourages individuals to seek understanding and context behind teachings. Number 8, the ripple effect of choices. Every choice made by the monk had a ripple effect, impacting not just his life, but the lives of others around him. This reinforces the idea that individual actions can have broader consequences, affecting not only oneself, but also the community. Number 9, be cautious of short-term solutions. The story warns against opting for seemingly convenient or short-term solutions without considering their long-term implications. What may appear to be an easy fix can lead to a chain of events that change the course of one's life. Number 10, cultural and moral lessons. The story draws on cultural and moral aspects, using the monk's journey as an allegory for life's challenges. It emphasizes the importance of staying true to one's values and being mindful of the potential consequences of one's actions. In essence, the story encourages individuals to navigate life with awareness, self-discipline, and a thoughtful consideration of the long-term effects of their choices. Thank you for joining me on this journey of embracing simplicity and finding the true essence of life. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more thought-provoking content. And please share to one person you love the most. And last, I just want you to say, climb higher.